Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. A very warm welcome to this webinar entitled Lifelong Learning for Teachers in the Age of AI. My name is Chung Dorma, working at the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning based in Hamburg. And this webinar is part of URL's research project on teachers as lifelong learners, supported by the Shanghai Normal University. The project aims to identify effective strategies for supporting and developing teachers throughout their careers, transforming teacher education and training into the lifelong learning ecosystems. Before we begin, I would like to give you some housekeeping information, which you can also see on the screen. This webinar is being recorded, and we encourage you to engage with our speakers by posting your questions in the Q&A box. Please also address your questions to a specific speaker if possible. And you can also find some useful resources and links in the chat box throughout the webinar. Now, without further delay, I'm pleased to invite Ms. Isabel Kamp, Director of UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning, to deliver her opening remarks. Isabel, thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Shung. Dear speakers and participants joining us from around the world, it's really my honor to welcome you to this UIL webinar on lifelong learning for teachers in the age of AI. Today, we bring together three real vital components. First, lifelong learning. Second, teacher education. And third, technology-driven education powered by AI. As a UNESCO Category 1 institute, UIL is dedicated, as you know, to promoting lifelong learning for all. And we view lifelong learning really as a comprehensive approach that enables individuals to develop their knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes necessary for both personal growth, but also social inclusion and active engagement in our very rapidly changing world. Lifelong learning is an inclusive concept that spans all stages of life, from early childhood to old age. It emphasizes that learning can occur at any time, in any place, and at any stage of a person's life across various settings, formal, non-formal, and also informal. Teachers are really central also to any education reform. At UIL, we recognize the crucial role of all types of teachers, including adult educators and literacy facilitators, and the role they play in achieving this vision of lifelong learning for all. It is really essential that every learner, from early childhood to higher education, vocational training, and adult education, has access to well-qualified, committed teachers who embrace the idea and concept of lifelong learning. They are the ones who create environments where lifelong learners thrive, not just for their students, but also for themselves, their colleagues, and their communities. However, education systems globally face major challenges with the teaching workforce at the moment. UNESCO estimates a shortage of 44 million teachers needed to achieve universal education by 2030, and only 85 of the current teachers meet minimum qualification standards. Educators in early childhood care and education, in TVET, and also adult learning and education often have even lower qualifications, largely due to limited policy attention and also funding. Currently, technology and AI are fundamentally transforming teachers' education and professional development by enabling more personalized, accessible, and ongoing learning opportunities. As societal and technological changes accelerate, the need for teachers to engage in lifelong learning becomes increasingly urgent and important. AI-powered tools such as adaptive learning platforms, digital assessments, and collaborative online spaces support lifelong learning for teachers and their learners by expanding teachers' professional learning and by fostering innovation and also collaborative pedagogies. However, while these tools offer powerful opportunities, many countries still lack supportive policies and initiatives. Teachers' education around the world has yet to fully integrate technology and AI-focused curricula and courses. Challenges such as unequal access to digital infrastructure, data privacy concerns, and the risk of over-reliance on automated systems can hinder the transformation of teachers' learning and teaching through technology. To leverage the power of technology and AI for teachers' lifelong learning, the question is not just what AI can do for teachers, but how teachers can use it responsibly and inclusively. As such, teachers' education policies and initiatives must prioritize teachers' agency and ensure that educators are not only prepared to adapt to AI, but also empowered to shape its use to advance their own lifelong learning and facilitate the lifelong learning of their learners. Today's webinar will be an opportunity to explore innovative policies and initiatives at the global, national, and also local level to look at teachers' education programs that support teachers' lifelong learning in the age of AI. It will highlight both opportunities and challenges teachers face in integrating AI into their lifelong learning journey, while also shedding light on their motivation and experiences with using technologies and AI tools. I think this will be a very interesting and hopefully fruitful discussion, and I wish you a wonderful webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Isabel. Now, please join me in welcome Mr. Huang Haitao, the Dean of College of Education at Shanghai Normal University, to deliver his opening remarks. Mr. Huang, the floor is yours. Thank you.
And all guests joining us online. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. In this earlier summer season full of life and growth, we are honored to gather virtually for the opening of the webinar Lifelong Learning for Teachers in the Age of AI. On behalf of one of the co-hosts, Shanghai Normal University, I warmly welcome and sincerely thank all participants from all around the world. In 2023, the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning and Shanghai Normal University initiated a research project centered on teachers as lifelong learners. The project's goal is to investigate the change roles and expectation of teachers, identify the key attributes that define them as lifelong learners and facilitators of lifelong learning for their students, that determine the essential conditions needed for them to fulfill these roles. This project is response to current educational trends and an essential effort to address the needs of educational transformation. As the central force in education, teachers must first become lifelong learners themselves in order to effectively guide their students on the path of lifelong learning. Today, our society is undergoing a technological revolution driven by artificial intelligence. Undoubtedly, emerging technologies like AI are reshaping the educational ecosystem in unprecedented ways. Traditionally, teachers played the role of knowledge transmitters. Yet in the AI era, knowledge has become more readily accessible to students through the smart technologies. This shift compels teachers to transition from the mere knowledge transmitters to learning facilitators, mentors, and role models for lifelong learning. And as lifelong learning becomes essential for every citizen, how can teachers lead by example, becoming both committed lifelong learners and effective facilitators of lifelong learning? This webinar serves as a proactive response to the urgent need for educational transformation in the age of AI. It seeks to explore pathways for the change roles of teachers and to offer theoretical insights and practical guidance to support the transition of global education systems toward a lifelong learning paradigm. We are honored to welcome many distinguished scholars and education professionals to this webinar. Your extensive experience, unique insights, and valuable contributions are great anticipated. In closing, sincerely wish this webinar on lifelong learning for teachers in the age of AI great success. I also look forward to our joint efforts in advancing global education and the contribution to the development of a more robust lifelong learning system. As the saying goes, through miles apart, we are close at heart. We sincerely look forward to our next encounter in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Huang. And we particularly thanks SHNU for your generous financial support to our research project. And now we will begin with our main session. Today we have 6 speakers who will unpack the webinar topic from various perspectives, drawing on their knowledge, experience, and research insights into teacher education, technology-powered education, and lifelong learning. Our first speaker is Mr. Wang Gong, who is the professor and director of the Center for Analytical Testing and Supercomputing at Shanghai Normal University. Ms. Wang has many years of teaching experience and extensive expertise in educational information, AI in education, and interdisciplinary innovation. He has also significantly contributed to the supporting teachers' professional development in China and beyond. Today, he will share his insights into teachers' lifelong learning in the context of AI-driven education in China. So, Mr. Huang, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Wang Gong, the Director of Analysis, Testing, and Supercomputing Center at Shanghai Normal University. Recently, our team launched China's first large language model, specifically designed for teacher education. This marks an important milestone in integrating AI into teacher education practice. So today, I'm excited to share some reflections on how AI is transforming teaching and teacher development. And my perspective on this transformation is let's involve with intelligence. As we all know, large language models like ChatGPT and DeepSeek have demonstrated remarkable capabilities. They go far beyond simply understanding and generating text. They are beginning to reimagine how we teach and how we learn. Large language models can serve in multiple transformative roles in teaching and learning. For example, providing adaptive feedback, generating customized learning materials, supporting students' foundational skills and development, and assisting teachers with lesson planning and student assessment. These models can also be brought to life as educational agents with more realistic appearances, offering learners a more personalized and intelligent learning experience. In fact, as these models absorb more education data, it will eventually offer fundamentally different alternative to our current education systems. It's not just about enhance what we do. It may change what education is. So we left with a critical question. Do we hand over the future of education to AI, or do we co-evolve with it? And our answer must be clear. We co-evolve. In the era of AI, the first step for us as teacher is simple. We need to open up. We need to start embracing what I call teach with intelligence. That begins with smart integration, choosing the appropriate Gen AI tools to help us rethink our teaching and make learning more personal. For example, we can co-design lesson plans using content generation tools and bring it virtual teaching assistant to reshape classroom instruction so that we can create more supportive and interactive learning experiences for students. Teaching with intelligence also means we should combine our practical wisdom with data-driven intelligence. To support this, our team developed a platform called Digital Intelligence Brain, a learning analytic system that integrates and organizes the data from various education application systems. This platform supports human AI collaborative modeling. It can generate diagnostic recommendation, grounded in educational theory and backed by data. And these recommendations can help teachers and administrators improve and refine their educational practice through both theoretical insights and data-driven evidence. But here, the most important part, whether we are using tools or using data, the goal is not to step back. It's to step in. We need to stay in the loop. And by that, I mean actively engaging with AI rather than handing over control. We continue to make informed decisions, apply our wisdom in educational practice, and uphold our values while leveraging AI stress to enhance what we do. In the process, AI's role is to amplify our decisions, expand our creativities, and help us reach more learners. And we as teachers are the ones to responsible for guiding students' personalized learning and ensure some healthy growth. Teaching is only half the way. We also need to focus on growing with intelligence. It's about using AI tools to help teachers practice, reflect, and evolve, ultimately become better version of ourselves as educators. Let me share a breakthrough from our lab. A large language model powered multi-agent system for teacher education. It's called MetaClass. This system has already been piloted in over 30 teachers' education institutions across China. And at Shanghai Normal University, it's already part of the regular curriculum for the pre-service teachers. What makes MetaClass truly innovative is that we designed several student agents. Each student agent has its own personality, cognitive traits, and emotional dynamics. They remember previous interactions. They adapt. They even challenge the teachers. Inside the meta class, teacher can conduct full lessons, interact with AI students, display slides, use Blackboard just like in a real classroom, reflect based on the intelligence evaluation report and classroom teaching recording. This creates a deep, immersive classroom teaching training expensive experience for teacher. It's not artificial. It's authentic. It's not one way. It's interactive, collaborative, and teacher-centered. By encountering failure, surprise, and success in the safe, yet realistic environment, future teachers are able to learn how to teach and how to grow. Here is how our preservice teacher use MetaClass to train their classroom teaching skill. Let me show the video. Okay, sorry.
从200出发，跳了300米，跳到了500米。谁能用算式表示
The small screen is our students, the preservice teachers. And the large screen, they have 9 AI agents. It's a mathematics for the junior school and Chinese.
但是在最后的句子中有一个小错误，应该是双叶红于二月花，而不是双叶红如二月花。
d 等于-39b 加 b 的平方。我们现在要让 d 大于20。
It's a mathematics in the middle school.
是3加 b 方大于20，然后有这个公式就可以得到 b 的范围了。一盘挂钩，它上面明明挂了许多
It's a physics.
为什么这个挂钩却可以吸附在墙上，没有掉落呢？请大家思考一下。因为吸盘和墙壁之间有大气压力，大气压力和吸盘及其他气密闭，所以吸盘挂钩即使挂或皱不掉。那么碳酸钙
It's chemistry.
又是由哪种元素组成的？二氧化碳和钙。碳酸钙。
Okay. When we talk about teaching and growing with intelligence, it's also important to remember that this must be grounded in responsibility. AI should be applied in ways that are scientifically sound, fair, safe, and controllable. This becomes especially critical when AI is used with human subjects, particularly students who may not yet have the judgment and awareness to fully safeguard their own rights and interests. In this context, ethical security is not merely a technical safeguard. It's a moral imperative. In our team, daily design and development work, we place a strong emphasis on its ethical consideration. We've built a comprehensive ethical safeguard framework to ensure the AI supports learning in a responsible, transparent, and trustworthy manner. And you can see in this picture. And throughout this process, the collaboration between teachers and AI plays a central role. Keep teachers always in the loop is the key to maintaining a clear human-machine boundary. It is a boundary that protects students, empowers teachers, and ensures that the technology truly serves education goals. So in the age of Gen AI, we are as teachers must embrace technology, not fear it. We must evolve with AI intelligence, with data intelligence. Because it's in truth, AI is not a threat. It's a mirror that shows us where we can improve and where our strength lies. It's partners that we can collaborate with. It's a challenge that we must think critically about to transform the way we as teacher in the AI agent. In the age of Gen AI, teachers are not being replaced. Teachers are being reimagined. Let's not just adapt to this transformation. Let's shape it. Let's lead it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wang, for your insightful presentation. You highlighted, I think, the teacher in the loop approach, where teachers collaborate with AI and evolve with AI to innovate pedagogy and personalized instructions, enhancing teachers' creativity and accessibility to AI-powered teacher education. And particularly the meta class that you introduced is very inspirational to all of us. And another crucial point that you raise is the importance of ethical security in AI, ensuring that technology is applied in a fair, safe, and controllable manner. Thank you so much. And now we will go to the next speakers. Our next speaker is our dear colleague, Mr. Miao Fengchun from the Future and Education and Innovation Division at UNESCO headquarters in Paris. And he will present on UNESCO's major work on AI in education, including the UNESCO AI competency framework for teachers. So Fengchun, thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I try to change to the display mode. Okay. Thank you for your invitation and dear distinguished participants. And I'm pleased to see my colleague from Shanghai Normal Universities and also the dear online participants. I will focus on UNESCO's AI competency framework for teachers. So, and you can scan the QR code to download the PDF. Now we have English. And I want to highlight 2 or 3 keywords in the very beginning. So this the vision of this AI competency framework is targeting rights-based use of AI, meaning that we need to base on all the use of AI by teachers based on their right to protect the right to job, the human right first. And secondly, we highlight autonomous use of AI, meaning that we need to empower teacher to have the competency to make the autonomous decision on when or whether they should use AI and what kind of AI they should use, and then to make an autonomous decision on what kind of pedagogical methodology they should use to guide the design, instructional design, learning design, and also learning scenario design on the use of AI in education. So I want to highlight the keywords in the very, very beginning. Before I go to the detail, very quickly, we have many, many publications. My colleague will share the links. We have around 20 publications, reports on AI in education. And many of them are not only publications, they are really, really impactful publications. In March of this year, last year, we had the latest statistic. I feel a little bit sorry to see that we had 5 or 6 of our publications among the top 10, which means among all UNESCO publications in the field of education, culture, natural science, social science, and communication, around tens of thousands of publications. We have, in terms of the number of the download, we had 5 or 6 were among the top 10. among the top 50, we only statistic on the top 50, we had 8. So you can go through the title and you can scan the QR code to download the PDF. My colleague will share the links. So why we should have AI competency framework for teachers? There are many serious discussions, debates, disputes around AI in education, in teaching and learning in particular. So I use only this slide to summarize my understanding about the impact of AI on teaching and on learning. Before, when we talk about the pedagogical relationship, we were talking about 2 players or 2 actors who have some certain levels of agency. We call human agency. We have teacher agency and student agency in the pedagogical relationship. Some people challenge me, Feng Chun, we also have content. Yes, we have content in the pedagogical relationship, but the content does not have agency. Within the pedagogical relationship, before we only had 2 actors, teachers and students have agency. Now there's a 3rd actor coming into this relationship, that's AI. Because AI, the main aim of AI is to simulate human thinking and human behavior, which means that somehow the AI is gaining a kind of machine agency that is embedding into the pedagogical relationship. It has very profound implication for teaching, for learning, and for the pedagogical relationship. This profound impact, so far, we have not uncovered yet. So first of all, it is threatening teachers' right to their job, because many commercial AI providers intended to use their tools to replace or substitute the teachers. So from UNESCO, we protect teachers' right to their job. We think humans' role is indispensable in terms of education, because education is not only to transition knowledge, it also have the social and emotional learning. We also have the roles to play to foster student value and also to facilitate their social construction. So we cannot use tools, use machines to replace human in the human interaction. So we want to protect teachers' rights, but we need to be responsible to this kind of change. We need to redefine teachers' roles in this kind of renewed relationship, and also to renew teachers' competency, even continuously, dynamically, because stronger and stronger AI is coming. And we also, people will talk about artificial general intelligence. I don't believe it, but anyway, stronger AI is coming, and people call it human by design. If more and more human by design coming into this relationship, we really need to think how we should redefine teachers' roles and redefine teachers' competency. That's behind our initiative of this AI competency framework for teachers. Another one is that if you listen to webinar like this, even higher level webinar than this, you will listen to ministers. They always think that we have to train teachers AI competency, we have to train students AI competency. And then we want to see how many countries are really taking action. And then according to a survey UNESCO conducted 2 years ago, only 7 countries had developed AI competency or AI program, whatever topic or titles they are using for teachers to train, at a national level to train teachers on the use of AI. Only 7 countries among all the ministers that are saying that they would like to train teachers. So with this, we used 2-3 years to have a debate, a consultation, to develop what kind of AI competency we should develop and how we should define the teacher's role. We think that teacher, first of all, should be trained. We cannot ask a teacher without training to achieve any kind of objective. We should train teacher, support teacher, which means school-based training support. And if possible, we should target to transform them into critical reviewer of AI, not passive receiver of AI. Rather, they should become a critical review of AI. And ethical rules, not only to passively accept other people's rule. They should join force to develop the ethical rules for their schools, for their institution, for their classroom. And if possible, they should be the role model for the ethical use of AI Of course, they should become co-designer for AI assistant learning setting. It's not only some normal university, some AI provider develop some AI tools for them. They should become the co-designer for AI assistant learning setting. They should become human accountable designer and facilitator of AI pedagogy. Of course, this should be lifelong learner. In the name of this institute, they should be the lifelong co-learner of AI together with their students. And we summarize the key principles. We think that by the end, we should consider a new social contract for human AI interaction, because there are many, many principles. We summarize through this onion model from the very, very core values about what kind of social contract we should build for human AI interaction to debunk the AI hypers, understand AI threat first, before we talk about the potential benefits. And then what do we mean by the AI human-centered approach to AI? Because UNESCO has been promoting that. We define this, we define human-centered approach to AI of UNESCO many times in our publication. We also define this one in this AI competence framework for teachers, and how to protect teachers' rights and define teachers' role to promote trustworthy to use AI in classroom, and how we make the AI competence framework applicable for all teachers, no matter they are in Germany, in China, or in South Sudan. This AI competence framework should be applicable for them. And how we define the lifelong learning of teachers' development. I will not go to the detail of this slide. We have the principle, and then we came up with this framework. Basically, for teachers, teacher is a job. Every day, they open eye, they need to face dozens of students. In some country, like in China, in Africa, a teacher need to face hundreds of students every day after they open the eye. We need to train them how to use AI to facilitate the pedagogy, to facilitate the professional development. And they need to understand the AI foundation. Of course, they need to learn and practice ethics of AI. And behind that, we believe that it's very important for all the teachers to understand and to practice human-centered mindset. And we ask us a fundamental question before we define this competence framework. And we define the key terms. For example, human-centered mindset, we divide it into 3 progression levels. Acquire, which means every teacher, they should acquire something they can use immediately. And then how they can deepen their knowledge and skills on AI in their teaching and learning. And the second level, the third one, for the master teacher, for the expert teacher, we want them to become a creator of some tools, learning environment. So we define the key terms: human agency, human accountability, social responsibility of teachers in the AI society, in the AI era, and the ethics of AI. Everybody is talking about it. We summarize only 6 ethical principles for teachers to learn and to practice, and how to make safe and responsible use of AI in their classroom and beyond, and how to co-create ethical rules. And AI foundations, we try to teach teachers some transferable AI knowledge and skills, including techniques and application skills, and also how to create some tools based on the customization of the AI toolkits. And AI pedagogy is very, very complex. We start with how to use AI in teaching, which means the instructional design for the use of AI, then the learning design for the use of AI pedagogy integration, and then the scenario design on how to use AI for the complex learning and the complex education activity. And for professional development, we highlight lifelong learning of professional development, organizational learning, and also, if possible, to use the AI and education technology to support teachers' professional transformation. So we are not only talking about this key term, we define them. We define them very rigorously, and not only scenario to the curriculum and to different contexts. Even if the teacher only have a mobile phone, smartphone with some AI application, how they can use AI. In the very, very rich, like just Professor Wang Gong talk about in Shanghai. Shanghai is the leading city in the AI area in terms of development and research, how teacher can use. So we will try to make our definition applicable both to the resource poor setting, but also to the resource rich setting. We also highlight the unplugged solution and open source AI. So we define all the key terms. You can see that it's a kind of a weaving of a network. I calculated this kind of sales, we weaved more than 130, 140 sales. So that's our specification, meaning that we are not only talking about theory, we are talking about roadmap, pedagogical activity, curriculum design behind this AI competence framework. And we have the implementation strategy. We highlighted that the teacher's AI competency is a necessary condition, but it's not the sufficient condition. The government institution must put other conditions in place if they really want to make effective use of AI, not only put all the accountability on the shoulder of teachers, but the government institution should hold their accountability. And based on that, how we can ensure that the tools, AI tools, will be regulated and validated. We put forth some recommendation and how we can create a kind of enabling policy and also the incentive strategy. Where's the learning hours, teaching hours teacher will have, you ask them to use. If they have overloaded and then you ask them to use AI, how you can create a kind of incentive strategy. Third one, how to formulate a local AI competence framework for teachers. We provide some example from China, from Europe, also from Singapore, and also to develop a performance-based assessment of teachers' AI competency. So I want to conclude that we're not only talking about the AI competency, we are supporting countries. We are working with the countries, our member states, in developing AI competencies, both for teachers and for students. Almost the next week or in the 2 weeks of time, we're organizing online forum based on our project. So you can take maybe a photo of this link. You can register. Your welcome is open to everybody. So I have a LinkedIn account. I'm on the LinkedIn account every day. I'm posting every day. You're welcome to join me to ask a question or to have a debate with me. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you again for your invitation, colleagues from UIL.
Thank you so much, Feng Chun, for sharing with us all the very impressive and very timely UNESCO guidance and resources on AI and education. And all of them are freely available. Please also, participants, check in the chat box, the link that's sent by my colleague. And I'm sure that all these provide global and national key actors in teacher education with valuable insights into integrating AI to teacher education, particularly in defining knowledge, skills, and values teachers should have and relevant support teachers need to engage in lifelong learning through AI-powered education. Thanks for that. Now we will move to the next speakers. We look into perspective from the Preservice Teacher Education Institute. Our speaker is Ms. Janice Mark, who will share her insights on teacher education curriculum and programs for AI-driven future of education in the United States. Ms. Mark is Assistant Director of Curriculum Pedagogy at the Learning Engineering Institute at the Arizona State University. Her research focuses on computer science, data science, and artificial intelligence education, policy, and system change. Ms. Mark, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Chung. All right, so I'm honored to be here to join you this afternoon, this morning, talk about lifelong learning for teachers in the age of Gen AI. So I think about this time that we're in as a time of disruption. So you can think about it as a disruption, but you can also think about it as creating gaps and these openings and these edges that you see between the new and the dominant. So both of these tools are available to us, and we need to consider ourselves as agents of cultural transformation. Remembering, as the previous speakers have said, that we are at the center of all the decisions that are being made. So in this talk, I'm going to share 5 strategies taken from Digital Promise and to provide some examples from the practice here. So we have number 1 is to provide guidance for adoption and evaluation. And we can see here, as of December 2024, 24 states have adopted some form of AI guidance, such as Utah. This is Artificial Intelligence Framework for Utah in P12 education information. Included the links as well in these slides. United States is much more of a local control in terms of education, and so the context is a little different. And so you see every state sort of adopting a framework. At our university, we have the goal is really to provide clear guidance around teaching and learning with AI, and there you can see some resources here on providing specific language for professors to put in their syllabus. We see fundamentals, ethics, tools, teaching and learning, a lot of tools to support the actual teaching and learning happening in the classroom. And again, you can see lifelong learning here in our institution. We also see strategy number 3, which is about facilitating ongoing, just-in-time professional learning. And so in our college, Teachers College, the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College, we have what we call the Professional Educator Learning Hub. We have a category of different courses, a whole catalog. But really the goal is that whether you are a new teacher, whether you are a teacher who's been teaching a few years, whether you are a teaching assistant in the classroom, the goal is that even if you're a school administrator, a district administrator, instructional coach, the goal is that we are all lifelong learners, and this Professional Educator Learning Hub provides a range of options for anybody, and they offer specializations, they offer courses, they offer micro-credentials and certificates, cohort courses, also self-paced learning, and then there's also what we call power-ups for quick learning. And so we have a variety of learning formats, and as I mentioned, early career, experienced, instructional leaders, leaders and admins, and again, a range of learning formats. And this is really important to have the infrastructure to support nimble learning, flexible learning options for anyone, anywhere, anytime, any place on a range of topics, including Gen AI, because as we all know, and this has been discussed, it is really transforming how we are thinking about and doing education. And we need to have the ability to quickly ramp up courses to meet this need for all learners at every stage. Strategy number 2 here is to integrate AI literacy across grades and subject area learning. And so I pull from 2 frameworks here, the AI for K-12, which has been around for several years, and they really think about AI as around 5 big ideas: perception, representation and reasoning, learning, natural interaction, and at the center you can see societal impact. So thinking about AI literacy from these balanced perspectives, thinking about how to integrate these 5 big ideas into all the work we do across every subject area. And then Digital Promise has a AI literacy framework, and again you'll see it's based on this understand, use, and evaluate with human judgment and centering justice at the center of everything. So just a few ideas there, and then our next strategy is really thinking about to design powerful learning experiences. And so at Arizona State University, we have something called principled innovation. And there are practices associated with principled innovation, but really thinking about how our moral character, our civil character, our performance character, intellectual character, how that drives the work that we do. And this is very critical because the central question we are asking is, just because we can do something, should we do something? And that is where the whole AI premise of AI literacy comes in. We need to demystify it. We need to make sure that everybody understands exactly what it is about, and that we are engaging in principled innovation as we think about using, evaluating, consuming, creating with Gen AI. And so thinking about our decision making, identifying our fundamental values, centering ethical decision making. When we're thinking about civic character, we're thinking about understanding the culture and context that we're working on. We want to engage multiple perspectives. When we think about performance, we want to think about how we have an attitude that navigates and mitigates uncertainty. And this is the age we're living in, it's uncertainty, right? So we want to be those lifelong learners that engage in that performance character. intellectual. We want to have those habits of mind where we're asking questions, we're reflecting critically and compassionately. And then we integrate, or I created a power up called Principled Innovation and AI. And you can see that is then these frameworks are then connected to the Professional Educator Learning Hub that I referenced earlier. So these are all examples of generative AI courses that live on that hub. Some are power ups, as you can see here, and then some are a short course. So we have Gen AI, a new learning partner, and we have a range of courses there. And the next thing we do is explore with purpose. We have what's called a Learning Futures Collaboratives, and you can see that here. We have a whole range of Learning Futures Collaboratives, but we have one on artificial intelligence and education. And our central question that we all explore is how can artificial intelligence and education communities, which ensure that future technologies are human-centered and humanist in their design, implementation, and interpretation. And so we, as a community of interdisciplinary faculty and working with teachers in our context, we center on this question. And so I think it helps to explore with purpose as well. The other one strategy is to promote awareness and agency. And so we have what we a AI community of practice. And you can see I've included links to this here, but we developed a institution-wide community of practice where we brought everybody together, College of Business, psychology, the art school, the College of Education. Everybody came together to talk about what are their challenges, what are the opportunities, how are they dealing with AI. And I think the irony of it is that AI has brought us together more than ever before. And so everybody is dealing with the question of assessment. Everyone is dealing with the question of, how to best use it or not use it. And so we share our ideas, bring together, and there's an AI community of practice toolkit where we come together and share around that. We also have, as an institution, the Create AI Toolkit. And so this is all within a walled garden. And so everything is for us to work with within a safe environment. The data is not getting out. And we have three major tools. One is a model comparison, where we can compare across models to select the best choice for how we as, again, empowering the faculty as creators, how we might optimize our best choice for the project being built. So we can use Claude, we can use Gemini, we can use ChatGPT, and we can see what is the output, compare across them, and decide which one we would like to include in our tool. We have an ASU GPT that we can explore our own model and behavior with our own tool. And then we have My AI Builder, where we can rapidly prototype. So we can create, we can collaborate, we can serve custom AI experiences across ASU. So for example, I've created 3 bots for my class. One is a syllabus bot, one is one comparison tool, and so on. So we can create our own. And the next is centering everything around digital trust. As we create things for students, we want to really build that relationship of digital trust. And therefore, we want to build it intentionally. We want to build safely. We want to build accounting for privacy. And so always keeping that at the center. I also include here our AI journey. So we have several pillars. We foster innovation and research. We are redefining workforce readiness, as is the theme of this webinar. We enhance student learning outcomes, and we are crafting policies for principled AI use, as I talked about through the principled innovation. In conclusion, it's really about shaping that future that fosters educational equity, that sparks research breakthroughs, and prepares a workforce that is ready to meet tomorrow's challenge. And I think you'll see that reflected in our AI journey there. So thank you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate, reach out. And then I've also included a note for more on the 5 strategies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Mark, for your valuable input. You emphasized the need for clear guidance for teachers on adopting and evaluating AI tools for effectively integrating AI into their teaching and learning. And you also showcased how technology and AI power the learning platform and AI community practice to provide teachers with flexible and tailored learning at any time, anywhere. Um, Now, I think before I will go, I would like once again encourage participants to post your questions to the presentations in the Q&A box, and our speakers will try to respond there. And if we have some time at the end, we will also try to address some of the questions. Thank you. Now we will welcome our next speakers from Singapore. Mr. Tan Chen Chi, Associate Dean at the National Institute of Education, Nanyang Technological University. Ms. Tan also served as Assistant Director at the Ministry of Education and Co-Chair of AI at NIE. His expertise focuses on computer-supported collaborative learning and artificial intelligence in education and knowledge building. Mr. Tan, the floor is yours. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Seng Chi. I'm the Dean taking charge of teacher professional learning and school leaders
Sorry,
development.
Ms. Tan. Can you readjust your microphone? We can hear very clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now it's better. Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
I will speak louder. Thank you. Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Seng Chi and Tan is my last name. I'm Associate Dean taking charge of teacher professional learning and school leaders development at the National Institute of Education, or NIE, Singapore. I'm speaking from the perspectives of NIE's roles in teacher education. So allow me to first introduce NIE. Established in 1950, NIE is the official teacher education institution in Singapore. It played a key role of shaping and developing Singapore's teaching workforce for the past 75 years. It's also autonomous institute of the Nanyang Technological University, and it has been working very closely with schools and the Ministry of Education. We're responsible for teacher education and learning, from pre-service teachers to in-service teachers, as well as school leaders. Pre-service school teachers have to go through NIE before they are certified to teach in schools. In NIE, they learn about foundational knowledge and skills for teaching, for content knowledge, as well as doing the teaching practicum before they go to schools. The next slide is probably one of the most important slides I will share with you about the policy initiative. And this is actually in schools. What happened in schools is that each school has a school staff developer. And this school staff developer, SSD, is taking charge of ensuring that the training and professional development programs are customized to the school staff's needs while supporting the school's goals. So SSD works with other middle managers of schools to mentor and to coach teachers in the areas of teaching and learning, as well as career development. And school teachers are organized into professional learning teams where they come together regularly to discuss pedagogical issues, pedagogical approaches. And as a whole, the school will function as a professional learning communities for teachers. There could be school level workshop that involve more teachers in the schools, and instructors can be from NIE or other sources of expertise. And schools are organized into 4 zones in Singapore: North, South, East, West, and each zone consists of about 83 to 85 schools. And zonal level workshops can be organized as well. And that's usually taken care of by the Academy of Singapore Teachers, or AST in short. Academy of Singapore Teachers actually have master teachers and principal master teachers. There are expert teachers who can actually guide other teachers in their learning and teaching practices. And NIE works very closely with schools and AST to provide professional development programs, courses, and workshops for schools. We also work closely with schools for research projects that could create impact on the school practices. Over here, you can see one of the important initiatives for lifelong learning in Singapore is called Skills Future, which is the national movement to provide Singaporeans with opportunities to develop to the fullest potential through lifelong learning and skills mastery, regardless of the starting points. This movement involves collaboration among multiple stakeholders, including individuals, employers, industries, unions, training providers, government agencies. And the major task is actually to shift away from education systems that relies on front-loading within the first 2 decades of an individual's life towards continuing education and learning over a lifetime to better prepare our citizens in a fast-changing economy. So under this scheme, citizens aged 25 and above are provided with a Skills Future credit of $500 that will not expire. We can use it for many courses. We can go to the Skills Future portal to look at courses that are relevant to us. And one-off top of another $500 was provided to all Singaporeans 25 and above in 2020, which will expire end of this year. So teachers who are also, of course, adult Singaporeans, they can also make use of this skills future credit to look for courses that are relevant to AI, so that they can do some courses relevant to AI that they can use for the teaching and learning. Another important setup is AI Singapore. AI Singapore was launched in May 2017. It brings together all Singapore-based research institutions and vibrant ecosystems of AI startups and companies that develop AI products to perform use-inspired research, to grow knowledge, to create tools, and to develop talent to power Singapore's AI efforts. And one aspect of AI Singapore's works is to develop AI capability programs to build AI awareness and AI-ready talents in Singapore. And they have developed many self-directed learning resources for students, for teachers, for working professionals, and they created a suite of programs to get students and professionals that help accelerate their AI learning journeys. So in the next slides, I'll start to look at NIE's roles in this whole ecology of teachers' lifelong learning of AI. Our approach is to start with teacher educators first, and that is NIE ourselves. So in May 2022, we launched the AI NIE even before the launch of ChatGPT, with three very humble objectives: to transform teaching and learning within NIE and outside of NIE, to advance research on the innovative and ethical applications of AI for education, and to build a facilitative ecosystems in NIE. And these three goals aim to prepare NIE as an institution and for teacher educators to be AI ready. We've achieved some of our objectives and we're still working on it. And I believe this kind of strategies can be scaled out to other larger contexts. In terms of building ecosystems in NIEs, oh my goodness, okay. Yes, so we're adopting a systemic approach looking into infrastructure, faculty competence to build the culture. For example, we have data empowerment program, followed by AI empowerment program. In data empowerment program, we use a ground-up approach, asking the staff and faculty to come up with the ideas about how they want to use data to enhance the efficiency of their work. We then organize workshops by inviting experts to conduct a course and to work with the faculty or staff to translate the ideas into practice. For instance, we have one project that uses historical data to locate expertise within NIE, and that helps to facilitate our research collaboration. We have also developed policies such as data policies to govern the use of data. And in terms of infrastructure, we're working on data lakehouse that helps to ingest data from various aspects of our work. And working with data policy, different users in NIE can then apply to make use of data for further work empowerment. We also organize AI empowerment workshops with similar strategies. And we organize many talks and workshops to help enhance the awareness of the latest developments in AI and how to power AI for education. For pre-service teachers, we are beginning to infuse AI-related content into the core curriculum. For example, there's a compulsory course on technology for meaningful learning. And this course, the student teachers can explore a self-directed online learning package on the use of AI for education. And in the realm of informal learning or non-formal learning, there's an AI in education chapter that student teachers are actually leading. They've organized several workshops for their peers, and we are also in the midst of organizing a hackathon for student teachers. And it's still under preparation, so I can't share too much about that at the moment. For in-service teachers, we organize and launch several short courses for teachers. We recognize that teachers are very keen to develop their competency in this area, and they usually do not have a lot of time for this. So we have short courses that aim at specific skills and competencies. For instance, the use of AI for self-directed learning, AI for assessment. And for teachers who can devote more time, we have a certificate program that they can get a certificate in AI for education when they finish 2 courses that add out to about more than 100 hours. And for school leaders, we have a particular program called Management and Leadership in Schools. In this particular program, it was a 17-week program that they've spent in NIE. We have an elective on leadership in AI for education that they can be that has been fully subscribed for more than 5 cohorts of the school leaders. I would just like to share with you this framework that I came up with, basically in order to design a holistic learning for using AI for education, that we can think about learning from, learning with, learning about, and learning beyond AI. And learning from that is basically using AI as a tool that we can learn from the AI. But we also need to know how to work with AI. There's learning with AI. We need to know how AI work, how to use it ethically. There's learning about AI. And very importantly, to retain agencies of humans, we need to develop our students and teachers' capacity to retain the capacity to create new knowledge, and there's learning beyond AI. So we look at this second layer here. Teachers play a very critical role to help to support their students, but teachers also learn. So teachers can also learn from AI, learn with AI, learn about AI, and learn beyond AI. So with this guiding framework, we started a project called Knowledge Building Learning Companion for Teachers. This is a generative AI-powered chatbots that help teachers to learn about specific pedagogies called knowledge building, so that they can also use this to learn about knowledge building, to learn how to design knowledge building lessons, to co-design knowledge building lessons with this chatbot. And then after they implemented the lessons, they can come back to reflect the lessons with this chatbot. And just like Dr. Wang, what Dr. Wang has shared earlier, okay, I don't seem to be able to move my slides right now. Yeah, okay. So we also have come up with this framework that is called Home for KB. Basically, in this particular framework, we want the teachers to be able to interact with the chatbot as well as interact with one another, and also in the process consult their lead teachers before they implement the lessons, and then they come back to do another round of reflection. That's basically putting human in the loop and to retain human agencies in this whole process. In terms of challenges, I think just like many other countries, many other economies, we have challenges about tensions between opportunities and risks. There are teachers, or many of us, who want to harness the power of AI, but at the same time, we're also concerned about the risk. There's rapid advancement of AI technology. Sometimes we just feel that after we've done the research, the AI technology has just moved on so fast, and probably need to start doing another round of research to look at the latest developments. And basically that points to the third point here. We need more research in this area. So that's all I want to share for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tam, for your presentation. And I think the comprehensive ecosystems that promote teachers learning in AI and technology, and AI courses for both pre-service and in-service teachers, and also school teachers. And also you mentioned the conceptual framework, teachers learning from, with, about, and beyond AI. And also the AI-powered teacher reflections. I think all these are very inspirational for all our participants, and we thank you for this. And now we will move to the final session of our webinar, focusing on the researching teachers, more research perspective on lifelong learning and work in the context of AI-generated education and societies, specifically in the Latin America and Caribbean, the LAC region, and Morocco. So let us welcome our first speaker for this session, Ms. Enis Alvarez-Icaza, who is a researcher at the Institute for Future of Education at the Monterrey Institute for Technology in Mexico. She has been also a lecturer at the Monterrey Institute for Technology since 2014. And her research focuses on design methodology, educational technology, and inclusive design. So welcome, Ms. Alvarez-Icaza. The floor is yours. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Greetings from this part of the world. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm going to be sharing a bit of our experience developed within the Institute for the Future of Education. I'm a researcher there, but then I'm also a teacher at the School of Architecture, Art and Design. So my vision, of course, is mixed as everyone else's. And I'm going to be sharing a bit of the key trends in research, how we are addressing the challenges in the region, and of course, whatever comes with when we combine these three elements, lifelong learning, teachers, AI, in this specific region, which of course, we know, like every other region of the world, we have particularities. And I'm going to share some numbers for those that are not familiar with the region. This region holds 33 countries. And within those countries, there are 58.2 million indigenous peoples. So normally these people doesn't have access to regular education. And if they do, they have to struggle with language and cultural settings that normally does not adapt to them. We have 560 original languages. Some of them are in danger to disappear. And we have 7 official languages, but mainly we speak Spanish, French, English, and Portuguese. Almost 667 million people live in this region, so it's a very large place. And in these surroundings, in this context, when we talk about trends in research policies and programs addressing AI education for teachers as lifelong learnings, we can say that we are mainly focusing on training, but also establishing an ethical frame. We are very concerned about this combination will still help to develop critical thinking in the students, but also in teachers. And we have a strong sense of responsibility to make sure that everything that happens still keeps a commitment with inclusion, security, and privacy protection. Right now, the region is focused on regulations. And as teachers are aware of this need, and we still are struggling with having like a broad regulation, and each institution are assembling their own, teachers are already working on their own regulations within their practice. So it's a very interesting thing that we will have regulations top bottom, but bottom up still there is work that it has been doing by teachers, and they are becoming knowledge creators at the same time. So if we look at the quick mapping, for example, the one created by Cisneros in 2024, we can see that very early, since 2018, the countries in this region started creating plans and strategy, but these still are not in the shape of what we need, because of course what happened in 2018 is not the same that happened this year, and we haven't catch up officially with whatever is required. So for example, there are some reports from UNESCO that says that Mexico does not have yet a national AI plan or strategy. So this is a great concern, and research is focusing on how the divide has been going wider and how we can still use this, let's say, wave of things that are changing to improve or to somehow bring some benefits in terms of using the data to scale up capabilities. Whatever has been doing among or within the institution is, for example, what Tec de Monterrey has been doing, which is the first generative AI model in Latin America. And for teachers, this means something like that. This is the Skill Studio. Of course, this is in Spanish. This is a screenshot from the site. But as you can see, there are many GPTs that are specially created by the institution to help teachers to create content. So as a teacher, you can go in this site and you can choose one GPT and start working to evaluate, to create your presentation, to create a summary, to make your presentation or your the course in a modular way. So there are many ways to do that. And we have also, using this tool, invited or require to declare that we are using the tools as a teachers. And here in the last part, it says that we have to declare to students that the use of AI tool does not replace our commitment and responsibility. So this is just an example of what has been going on in Tec de Monterrey. We are required to include all these in our practice, but this is a rare case because Tec de Monterrey is a private university that has certain amount of resources, and it doesn't apply to every other place in the region. How we are addressing this challenge now? Some institutions are concerned with the diagnosis. We are trying to understand where the digital competence in teachers is because it's quite uneven. But we are also concerned about building confidence and allowing teachers to share the experience when they are including this practice to other institutions. So from our research group, we are trying to share and spread a bit of the word, what we have been doing. And everything that we are doing has with a strong focus on the digital gap that can come from not observing the differences of the context, also with a gender perspective, and keeping in mind that we have to solve anything with equity. So open resources are super important in this from this view. And I can say that what teachers are been doing so far is getting trained. They are still, of course, developing their own regulations, getting better into digital competences, but we are not still in a way that we can say that in the region everyone knows how to use it and everyone is on board to this transformation. Our context, as I say, is very uneven. We have public universities, regional universities, those focus on technology, those focus in humanities. So every university and every educational institution have their own priorities, and these links with the kinds of teachers that are involved. For example, there are the younger teachers that might be experienced in these topics, but there are also teachers that lack of resources. So whatever regulation is created by a university cannot be applied the same for everyone because the levels are different. And in the same way, talking about policies, we have these younger representatives pushing forward, but at the same time, they are dealing with a very rigid and strict regime. So it is complicated. But then again, we have researchers and entrepreneurs going on finding different ways to explode AI, but also preventing unwanted results. There are many people involved with using data to create justice, to promote human rights, and so on. So I belong to this interdisciplinary research group, and as you can see, the group is quite diverse. There are people from different ages, but also people from different disciplines. We have engineers, educators, designers, lawyers, philosophers, psychologists, and so on. So this combined experience help us to have this broad vision, but still we cannot say that we know it all. What we can only address is whatever we have close, and we have been inviting and collaborating with other institutions to try to understand this let's say, some of visions and expertise in the region, especially in Mexico. And we can say that the agency in teachers right now is in understanding their role. There is some of them are having a quite tough time to embrace change while they are developing their skills. They are having a trouble, honestly, in relaxing and realizing that there's no coming back. The change is here and we have to deal with it, either we like it or not. And some of them are really focusing on keeping relevance in their work, making it count, their knowledge, their experience. So finding this combination has not been easy for some of them, but it is interesting how research and how the experiences in different universities are helping teachers to include AI in their practice so they can become knowledge contributors, which I think we're still in the process of doing that. So for the last part of this presentation, I would like just to share some examples of what this research group has been doing. In January 2024, there has been already a year since we started using generative AI, but we didn't have some regulation. So we started creating our own recommendations for implementing AI in research. So the picture shows the group of people that started with this. First, it was a training, then it was a collaborative and co-creation process to start having the recommendations. Then we published the recommendations in an open way for everyone to look at it. And of course, then we started following them. And in the meantime, we were developing this digital learning ecosystem. These are 4 platforms that came from an internal fund, which is the Research for Challenges Fund within Tecnológico de Monterrey. And we developed these 4 platforms, which are open and have features powered by AI. So we have one platform addressing entrepreneurship, complex thinking, computational thinking, logistics, and we took these platforms to 77 institutions in Latin America to help teachers to train and also to offer these open educational resources for the students in which they, the teachers, can use it, just put it in, use it, and observe the students how they are interacting. So that gave us a lot of data, a lot of resources to continue our research. And with that in mind, in October last year, we had this bootcamp to create more projects, to continue exploring opportunities for funding to develop more tools or more research or more projects. And we had this agent, this digital person is Aida, and she was like the facilitator of the bootcamp. So it was very meta experience in which we were talking about what we were living at the same time. In these groups, there were people from the 5 continents, and we created at least 10 projects that are already as in the way of requiring for funds to start working on that. From all this experience last year, we won the gold medal in lifelong learning as part of this group. So it's a very interesting cycle of you start understanding, then trying, sharing things, experiencing new things, and then disseminating whatever the outcome is from it. So I think most of them, of those experiences, can be an example of what can be done in the region. But of course, then again, I have to say this is made with the resources of a private institution, and it's not, of course, the reality for everyone in the region. So as a conclusion, I would just like to say that we're still in the process of developing a regulatory framework, but we are very involved in addressing the digital divide from a gender and equity perspective. And of course, it is very important for us to maintain relevance in a rapidly changing global landscape as teachers, as knowledge creators, and as contributors. That's it from my side. Here is my contact, and you can download the presentation there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Alvarez, for your input and particular different policy contexts on AI in education in different countries of the LAC region. I think you highlight also the key trends in research and policy in your region, focusing particularly on training, ethical and critical thinking, and addressing particularly the digital device and gender equality. You also emphasize the importance of digital competency building, competence and sharing experience, and the interdisciplinary approach to overcome challenges in teachers' lifelong learning. Thank you for that. Now we will move to before we actually move to the last one, I would like to ask our speakers to actually have a look at the Q&A section, and we appreciate if you can address those questions that are actually from participants addressing to you. Thank you so much. Now we will welcome our next speakers, Mr. Mogat Banali, who is an associate professor at the Regional Center for the Professions of Education and Training in Morocco, with extensive experience and expertise in education training. He has significantly contributed to the development and the implementation of the innovative education practice in the region. And we're very welcome to our speaker, Mr. Banali. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this important webinar. And I would like to begin by sincerely thanking UNESCO for organizing this event, as well the panelists for their insightful contribution, and for our moderator for guiding the conversation. in response of the first part of my talk, I'm going to explore what national policies support lifelong learning for teachers in Morocco. How is technology, including AI, being integrated with teachers? And also, how is Morocco aligning teacher development and integrated education system? So, Morocco AI and new tech readiness is growing. As you can see on the slide, Morocco AI is definitely experiencing a rapid growth, expected to reach $316 million in 2025. This expansion is also reinforced by the country position in the Frontier Technology Readiness Index, where it ranks 67 of 170 economies around the world. Among African nations, Morocco stands as one of the fastest adopters of AI, thanks to developer between 2022 and 2023. So, as you can see, the digital divide, the first one is mastered in Morocco in terms of infrastructure and connection. But what about the second digital divide, which is related to digital technologies use and competencies? So, look into the Morocco AI education ecosystem. Unfortunately, we have right now no AI strategy, AI education strategy in place right now. So it has not been indicated in all the reforms, the strategic vision reforms, or the roadmap plan. So none of these papers or official papers are explicitly mentioning the integration of AI in education system. We have also 40% of rural schools lacking of reliable internet. We have also computer science education, which is mandatory only in secondary education only, unfortunately. Look into the inside of research. As you can see on the slide, we have lack of teachers training. We have infrastructure disparities. We have ethical and data privacy concern. We have also language and cultural relevance. So where most of AI tools are designed in English, and as you know, we have most of our students and teachers speaks French, Arabic, and Amazigh. But in parallel, we have the Ministry of National Education has established the national strategy for distance education and training, and the distance learning division is the one who in charge of implementing this national strategy, and this division played a key role since 2005. As you can see on the slide, we have 80 online courses developed by this division. It's split, as you can see, between 15 courses for the initial training and continuous professional development. We had 49 courses for continuous professional development for teachers in service. We have also 18 courses, online courses for the initial training for pre-service teachers. And all these online courses are run through two platforms done by or using Moodle LMS. So as you can see, in 2024, 2025, we have 28 enrolling in these courses. And the team of this division developed 1,400 training videos. And you can see also 350 assessment tests has been put in place, comprising 4,200 items. Now, let us move to the second part of my talk, where let us explore how pre-service teachers in Morocco perceive the use of Gen AI in their future teaching practices. Is it okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, well, we can
Can
hear
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
I can continue.
clearly.
Okay. So,
yes, can you please maybe
okay, thank you so much.
we can see another notes of yours. If it would be great if you can put it in the presentation note without a note.
It's
Otherwise,
okay.
you can continue.
It's
yeah.
okay. Sorry for this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for
Thank
this.
you.
Sorry for this.
No
Okay,
problem.
no problem. Sorry. I completely missed it. Is it okay like this?
Can you put it now in the, yeah, now it's fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. Now, okay, can you hear me? Yes.
Now we can hear you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. What we did as part of perceiving the use of GenAI. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry for this. Also, sorry.
Sorry about this. Yeah, we have some
So
technical
can I
issues.
continue?
Yes, please continue. We can hear you now. Thank you.
Can I continue? Can I continue? Okay. So part of my physical involving 250 pre. So as you can see on the slide, it seems most of the like GPT and few who using the advanced GenAI like RapidMine or OpenAI for programming.
Sorry about this. Our speaker, Mr. Banali, is actually traveling, so I think he has connection issues. So I think we will. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Then I think unfortunately we will. Go to the maybe the almost also the time is also already there. We have to close also soon, so we will. I would like to conclude these sessions, and we will share actually the resources and the PPT of Mr. Bernardis, our last speakers, with you also, if you wish, from after the webinar. So with this, we'll conclude.
Is it possible I share the last? Sorry for. Is it possible I share the last? This is
yes.
This is what we did around the competencies. Okay. We asked the respondent to measure their AI competencies using the AI competencies for students based on UNESCO framework. As you can see on the slide, most of our respondents, it seems they are placed on the understand level. So although the AI competencies framework for students is targeting K-12 students, it seems that our pre-service teachers are having the same challenges, which means that we need to focus deeply and on AI training as soon as possible. So in conclusion, I think let us focus and think about putting in place urgently an AI strategy in education, which need to be implemented as soon as possible. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry for this inconvenience of IT technology. So sorry for this.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Banner. We actually really appreciate your commitment to making into presenting while you are traveling and at very low internet connectivity. I think your research also shows the particular I think the language and cultural relevance and in when we are applying AIs in teacher education. So with this, I would like to, because of the time, we will not have time to actually go through the questions, but you or the participants, you are welcome to also contact us after this webinar. Of any questions you have and also more information you need for related to this webinar. And with this, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all our speakers for your inspiring presentations and contributions, and also to all my colleagues working behind the scene and make this webinar happen. And before we close, I warmly invite all of you to also join us again on 25th July for our next webinar focusing on lifelong learning for adult educators. I also encourage you to explore more webinars organized within the new UNESCO webinar series, where experts and practitioners share strategies to make lifelong learning reality from the perspective of different components of lifelong learning. You can find the links in the chat box as well. So once again, thank you so much for your active participation and thoughtful engagement throughout this webinar. And we look forward to welcoming you again for the next round of the webinar. Thank you so much. Goodbye.